You ready?
Yes, sir.
And Coach, congratulations on 252 wins this year, or in your career.
Thank you.
It comes in fashion tonight, and throughout the years, you've had a lot of great moments. You coached this team through plenty of great wins, but what are your favorite 3 wins so far?
My favorite 3 wins? Did you say the
favorite 3?
Wow.
NCCU's one.
Is it?
Yeah, that's definitely, that's our rival.
Okay. I guess for me, it's the team wins, right? Like this is cool, but this don't make me a great coach. I'm not a better coach than I was 48 hours ago. Like I have enough of individual accomplishments and accolades, honestly. It's always, success is nothing without the people that you love and go in the foxhole with to share it with. So I would say my best favorite 3, I guess, was the first one I ever got. 2014 MEAC championship and probably NC State, right? I think those are the 3 wins that was monumental for me individually, personally, and for this university. So those 3.
Coach, as a person that grew up in this program to play and then to come back in this program, and then now you're the leader, what has this journey been for you at North Carolina Central? What does North Carolina Central mean to you as a person?
It's personal, really, really personal. Probably too personal for me. It's a gift and a curse sometimes, right? You know, I entered these hallways when I was a 17-year-old kid, and you know, I'm a grown man, a father of 2, a husband, and a leader of the program. So you have a lot of emotional waves along the way. You know, it's hard because no one is more passionate about North Carolina Central basketball than me. No one hurts more from North Carolina Central basketball than me. That's a gift and a curse. But Roy Williams told me years ago, he said it's something special about being able to coach at your alma mater. And it's moments such as this that makes those moments special.
What does the number 252 mean to you?
You know, obviously, you know, it's an accolade, it's an individual accolade. So many memories, so many emotions right now. I get an opportunity. My first day here, I went to our sports information director at the time, Mike Wilson, and I asked him when I was a player, I said, let me see, they had programs back then, I'm dating myself. They had programs, I said, who's the all-time leading scorer? And he said, Ted Manning and Sam Jones. And I said, well, that's my goal, I'm going to get them, right? I never did that as a coach because I was just trying to win one game at a time. But this victory, and I told our kids, it's ironic that it's 252, but it's not a coincidence that the number's 52 is a representation for Devin Butts, who passed away on our team last year. We got the patches for him, and he was number 52. So I just think the universe tends to work everything out, right? Personally, you know, I have my child beside me at a press conference. I hope he's proud of his daddy. I'm trying to plant seeds for trees that I'll never see grow. I know my mom is proud. My grandma is heaven watching. My wife is proud. My high school coach is here. We ran 5 miles a day in high school, right? So people transferring, and we couldn't transfer. We just had to go run 5 miles a day. And I'm so thankful for him because he made me a better man. I just got a text from Kathy Moore, who was former superintendent, but she was my 10th grade French teacher. She gave me a chance to coach high school. John Baker is in the locker room. His father was the first black sheriff of Wake County. He went to North Carolina Central and he played with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was the one who told me after my playing career, there's a job at West Middlebrook Middle School that you probably need to apply for, right? A coaching job where I was gonna make $225 a month for 3 months, $675 a year. So I turned down an $85,000 assistant coach gig to go coach middle school at $675 a year. Not a lot of people would do that. Even my mama called me crazy for doing it, but it was the grassroots and the tracking that, you know, is part of this journey. So my journey is so spiritual and so much bigger and greater than me. I would like to sit here and take credit and say I was smart and I saw this coming. I ain't see none of it coming. God has truly blessed me, and I just had some incredible people along the way to kind of help navigate me.
you and I talked after shoot around today, and I asked you, would you be able to look around and kind of soak it in today as the game went on? Were you able to look around and kind of soak in this victory?
Yeah, literally when they just dumped that cooler on me. I tried. I was teed off with them at halftime because I just thought we just showed up to play a basketball game. We were awful, right? And that's me. I didn't have them ready to play, and they're thinking more about dumping water on me than going to play a basketball game. And so I couldn't really enjoy it the way I wanted to. However, in the last minutes, I looked around and I saw some of those people that's really instrumental to me. I grew up without a father, as many of you already know. And, I had to find a man somehow. I love my mother to death, but a mother couldn't teach a kid in a housing project how to be a man. And I was really rough around the edges. And she signed me up for the boys club, and it was there that I met this man named Ron Williams, who taught me how to dribble a basketball, hit a baseball, and throw a football. And from there, he became really close to me, and he became like a father figure to me. So when you hear P.J. Tucker, he raised P.J. Tucker. When you hear John Wall, he raised John Wall. He raised all of us, right? He's probably responsible for raising half of Raleigh, and he came in our locker room tonight. So to see him and see this thing come full circle, man, it was crazy. I remember I told him this, and it just blew his mind. I told him August 1st, 1988. I'll never forget that date because whatever I did as a kid, it just wasn't good enough. He never let me play in my age group in basketball. I always had to play up. I would score 45, 50 points. And people would say, man, Ville good. He'd be like, man, he ain't nothing. And then if I went 3 for 4 in baseball, they were like, Ville, pretty good. He made All-Star. He always told me he ain't nothing. So my entire life, I was just searching for his validation and confirmation. And when I was 14, we played in the summer league, and I scored 48 points and won the championship, and I got MVP. And he dropped me off at home, and he told me I was the best basketball player that ever came to the boys club. And that was August 1st, 1988. He said, I love you, and if anything changed, I'll let you know. And that's the first time a man ever told me he loved me. First time a man had ever told me he's proud of me. So it's those moments that I'll always remember. And seeing him come back full circle and support me, that was truly a blessing.
When you go back to walking on campus first time as a freshman, what would you tell that version of yourself when you look at how you are right now at this moment?
Trust the process, because I think as a player, that's what I did. My mother raised 2 boys, and my brother's 5 years older. And I was the baby of the family, so I thought I was spoiled a little bit. And so she dropped him off at college at Shawan. And I was 5 years old. I helped him pack. I was so happy he was getting out the house, right? And so I just took both of our beds and made a California king. Like, I was so happy he was gone. And when he was walking off from the car, she looked at him and she said, have a great time. She said, I love you. She said, when you come home, bring a little bag, don't bring a big bag, because I don't take care of grown men. And I'm looking out the window, I was like, ooh, that's right, because we don't take care of grown men. I'm like 12, 13, and I'm just happy to go home. And so fast forward 5 years later, she dropped me off at North Carolina Central up at Chidley Hall, and I get out the car, and I was like, Ma, I love you. She said, I love you too. Now I'm the baby, I'm thinking I'm a little special. And she says, before I got in the dorm, she said, when you come home, bring a little bag. Don't bring a big bag home, take care of grown men. In our projects, it was 40 kids. In 40 years, it was 6 kids that went to college. Only 6. And so what she was basically saying was, look, I don't know a whole lot about this college thing, but you better take advantage of it and capitalize and take advantage of every opportunity, because when you're done in those 4 years, you're not coming back to my house. You got to go out here and live with this real world. And she meant that. So it kind of put some additional pressure on us to be something. And we flourished with that. So my first days on campus, I was always a disciplinarian. I was always in this gym more than anyone. I was always doing what I needed to do in class. I could have graduated in 3.5 years with no summer school. I was on Dean's List. So I just took the principles that was applied in my life as a youngster and just applied it in school.
You've hit number 252, and that number is only going to climb and rise What are your thoughts thinking about the future? We've talked a lot about the past and getting here, but what's next for you and for this program?
Just getting ourselves better. It's a new age now. It's the NIL, it's a portal, it's all of these things, and so we have to be able to adjust to what's out here. And we have 10 new guys, right? And they're acting brand new each and every day. The light bulb hasn't went off for each and every one of them, and that's normally a challenge. Normally you have 3 or 4 guys that you gotta get familiar with your system, but now you got the masses are unfamiliar with it, and that's tough. That's a struggle. So we got to get familiar with ourselves. We got to play harder. We got to play faster. We got to play the right way. I have to be able to trust them more. They have to earn my trust more. So we're kind of scrambled eggs right now. We're piecing ourselves together. So hopefully we can just continue to mold and develop ourselves. So when conference play hits, we can hit the ground running.
Any word from Floyd Brown's family, and what are your thoughts about passing him tonight? What he means to this program?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like all of those guys, I don't know if you guys seen the hallway, but one of my first projects was just to make sure I captured the history of this because it was always bigger than me. For years, John McClendon, everyone has known about him, and when they approached me to retire my jersey, I said only under one circumstance: if John McClendon's banner's double the size as mine. Right, so if you look up there, he's the double size, right? And then the next step was Sam Jones hadn't been back since the 70s because he was somewhat bitter. And so him and I developed a great relationship, and he took a liking to me. And originally I was from Boston. There was a guy by the name of Jimmy Walker from our neighborhood in Boston who Sam adopted when he was with the Celtics, sent him to Laurinburg Institute, and that guy went back and played at Providence, and he became the #1 draft pick in the '66 draft, right? And Jimmy Walker's. His son is Jalen Rose, right? So that's the connections where all of this stuff come from. It's none of that if it's not for Sam Jones, right? So me and Sam developed a great relationship. And he didn't want, the ironic thing, I might be saying too much, he didn't want his jersey retired. And I said, no, you have to come back. So I think in 2015, he finally agreed and we got him back. And I was so happy that he got a chance to get his roses and receive his roses before they pass, because we're so busy honoring people after they pass and they're no longer here. So I just got the ultimate respect for those guys. Michael Bernard won a national championship here. My coach, Greg Jackson, was amazing. He had a great run. So, those coaches, I may have surpassed them in a win total, but I don't even deserve to be mentioned in the same breath and what they had to deal with.
Can I ask you a little guy a question?
Yes.
How cool is it that your dad is now the most winningest coach for NC Central basketball?
Oh, it's amazing, man. Now I can say he's actually great, but I knew he was great from the start.
Oh,
That's love.
yeah, because he got a birthday coming up. His birthday is 2 days, so he laying it on thick. Yeah, he laying it on thick right now.
And Christmas coming up.
Yeah, he laying it on thick.
That's it.
So,
Coach, your team now has 2 consecutive wins. You talked about using the word trust with them. 11 players were able to enter the scoring column.